Alright Transformers fans, today on Step-by-Step Transformations, we're taking another look at Zhu Rong. This time we're going to transform him from this awesome looking ship mode into his leg mode for the combined form, which actually I think looks absolutely fantastic. I love the design. Alright, first things first, to turning this thing into combiner, we got to collapse back down the command centers. Pushing that down, unpegging it, and releasing all the bits back into its square form. And then twisting that around onto the main platform. You take our little side thing here and fold it back up, flipping that up and closing that down. Now we want to come to this section that has our little crane. We want to fold the crane out and we want to open up these panels. If you check out on the crane side, you can pull up here a little bit to release it, and then you're able to release this panel, and then you should be able to lift the other one. And then these can open up. And again, make sure you open the right one, because one of them has the triangle teeth, and the other one does not. Now we're going to take the front, we're going to split the ship open. There's a lot of pegs in there, so it takes a little bit of work to make sure everything's releasing appropriately. In the middle, we need to open up these. And we need to release that from the rest. On the bottom, we need to release this. And open all these up. Mine had popped open just from me actually releasing the rest of it. From there, we can slide these to the side, releasing that peg, and these can come to the side. Same on the other side. Back up on the top, we need to release those little hand sections here, making sure the hands can come out. This is a lot of work right here. This panel here is quite a bit of a pain to get released. Pressure and movement is a little bit annoying. We're going to do that on the other side too. Tricky part is right here, trying to get that released without causing any stress fractures. There we go. Now with all of that done, this section here can spin all the way around. We just want to do a 180 on that. So the bottom of the ship is at the top. Also, now that all this is released, we can finally release the last little bit of this mechanism here so that these can come apart. Want to make sure those are released. Okay, so from the bottom here, on this side, we've got a lot of positioning to do and twisting to do to get everything all configured right. So first, we're going to bend the knee. So that's flat. Arm. Bend the elbow, that is. Then we're going to take this and we're going to twist it to the back so that the screw side is revealed. If the screw isn't in the front here right now with the peg, you've got this all messed up and you do need to do some spinning around to get that right. This panel here might also be in a different configuration of some variety, and you need to make sure to twist it so that it is up and in line with this little peg here. And then we need to rotate this section in so that this peg goes into that slot. So a little bit of work, hard to do on camera there. Got to get that peg into that slot, but everything else still twisted in this orientation. And we got to do the same thing on the other side. So there we have it. Bend here, flat panel, peg in there. Both sides. A little bit tricky to get that all in, and you might need to do some twisting and configuring to make sure it is all like this. Once it is in this configuration, we then need to take these and twist them around without twisting anything else. So that our smooth round sections are on this side, but everything else is orientated as we had it. There we go. Same on the other side. So once it's like that, now we need to peg everything back together, peg the whole top back together, and turn this all into a flat platform again. And make sure everything's nice and straight there. And then we gotta do that same thing that we did in the previous transformation where we get these fists lined up, get everything straight here, and then we can straighten this out. It does take a little bit of work. This part is particularly tricky, making sure that this all lines up without getting any fractures. All right, so that side is nice and straight. We gotta do the other side. All right, so then we collapse down these. Make sure that's flat. Flatten that and collapse that all down. So we got a nice ship panel. Oh, there it is coming apart again. All right, and with that, we suddenly have a foot. Got some nice footage going on. So now twist the command center out of the way, and we got to take these panels back, and we got to collapse over that ankle so that it is not so obvious. Put all these aside. So that's just some maneuvering, flipping of panels. This one gets tricky. Spin around to the back, open this up, release them from each other, just so that's nice and loose. So once we're on the back and we have this down, we need to release that away from there, and then we can unpanel all of this stuff going on here. So we need these out, and we need to open up these panels so they release away. Spin her around, and we're coming up way up here. Opening up these. Locking them down like that. Then these sections here are going to release on the bottom. Spin that around, release that from each other. And then they're going to fold up, and you should peg right there. Fold up, there's a little peg here and a little peg there. And let's just lock it. And that gives us our bend. To make this part look a little bit cooler, we need to open up these. Open up these. We got these things. These to have in bot mode. So it flips all out. There we go. And then can close up there to give us some cool looking joints. Oh, make sure that these kind of sync together before closing them back up because they are kind of interlinked. Now we're just going to close these back up. And way up on the top, we're going to release this on both sides, and that should just fold down here, and that gives us our combiner port up here. That's the combiner port. All right, and then we got ourselves our completed foot here. So that whole section has a bunch of good movement points and whatnot. We'll look at that in the review section, but that is our combiner foot, a helicarrier into foot.